so I could hear you, but it's really so I could hear me. Yeah, me. My name's Ben. You can call me Angry Crow. I'm on the internet. This is MintPotion. You can't even see my keyboard or any of that. So hello, yes. Thanks to the wonderful help of all these folks, including the beautiful music by our own Team Ad 40 Blue, who is also his own, but I like to say our own for some reason. This wallpaper makes it hard to see the mouse, but we can dance with it. Cool. Anyway, back to Unreal. By the way, follow this guy on SoundCloud, those of you who don't already. It's easy, you just do this. Done. Anyway, so I was sweetening up a couple of blueprints and splines in Unreal. I fixed some stuff that you might find interesting. I'm not gonna do our sequence editor today. I have this like kind of neat list thing going on here. But let's talk about where we've been and where we're going. Also the background, I don't like that. Hold on a sec. I like that flat look. It's a little hasty there, shoot. Ugh. I guess I could do this from the desk, but I'm just gonna stand. I need to walk, obviously. Let me just slide that on out there. Just, bloop. There we go. Oh, yes. It's so nice to see you. I hope your weekend was great. Mine's pretty relaxing. I did a whole bunch of laundry. I played Into the Breach, like it was going out of style. And what else? I don't know. Just tried to relax. Lunch with my sister. That was cool. Lunch with them sisters. I have something that resembles a desk right now, which is pretty sweet. The thing I like about Team Ad is just how smooth. Hey, Savoka. It's nice to see you. Thank you for dropping by. I guess I'll show you real quick before Savoka leaves what we've been up to. So, I don't know if you remember last week, I was trying to fix my like looper thing that goes between all of the cameras. And that's done now. So, I have two kind of branches. When I click the left or right mouse button, right? That will cycle between the cameras. I also added a bunch of actors in the scene, these spheres, so you can see where the cameras are. So I can right and left click, and you can see in the top left here, it's kind of going through. So there's the camera that just sits there. Here's the one that's stuck to me here. Woo, the roller coaster mode. Yay! Here's some of our spline actors. They're so pretty. Let's see what else we got. Is there a spiral guy while that guy's going? Also, if we sit on this, we can see this guy. Yeah! Let's see. Where's my standstill guy? So with the standstill camera, I can control particle systems. So if I press 1, that deactivates or activates. Whoa! And then if I press 0, I can trigger this guy. And, you know, these are just some technologies, some simple things that we need in order to test stuff out. But it looks pretty smooth. Thanks for your nice commentary. Hello, and thanks. So, you know, there's going to be a lot more interesting and cool things. One of the reasons why I wanted to get my rotating, like, structure down, right and left mouse, like let's say I went from the static guy here to whatever's before that, I think the spiral, and then I can press the button to go back to the static and see the spiral ends this loop. It's just like to pick rooms and kind of drop into them whenever I like. And so you can see I cleaned up my blueprints quite a bit. Left comments. So here's our left-right mouse cycle thing. Cycle player through all of the cameras. When the game starts now, at the end of this disable player movement routine, we put the camera, or we put the player on the first camera, which we actually didn't have before. The first camera is our static one, so we can do this thing. Yay! So let's close that. So that's what our level blueprint is doing, and that's a pretty like regular, like I think that the core level blueprint plus a couple of things for input, if we go there, are going to be like, this is what we're going to see for a lot of this game. Picking a series of tracks and iterating through them somehow, as well as getting, you know, the player to not move and look around. And if we have a VR volume, we're going to have to modify this bottom section to have some constraints, because it's really disorienting to walk around a physical space and not have that represented. So there'll probably be another version of this, where this would be like if you were sitting without a lot of head tracking. Like, we'll have to modify this setup to have better head tracking. Same with this, but this is really just attaching the player to a camera that's moving through, and we're using the camera as a placeholder in the editor, right, to show us where these paths are. And then while the game is running, we have these spheres, of course, that are attached to them. Let's see. I love how this looks, by the way. I'm not quite sure how all of these nasty effects get created, but like, we talked about materials and splines. We talked about all these different actors, but I'm kind of over that. The last thing we did last week was working on these particle systems, right? And so here's like this crazy triangle thing, and it's like super expensive, and one of the reasons why it is so expensive, if we, by what I mean when I'm saying that, let's get a little bit more specific. So let me view this as like a list or something. Icons, I just need to see it properly. Here we go. Alright, so you're not there. Content, particles. I have my glowing core, which is this guy. So here's that guy. Whoa, focus on that. So let's make a thumbnail for him so that he looks cool in here. It looks not that cool. Anyway, hello. Hey Slip, how's it going? MintPotion crew is doing well. We've reorganized a bunch. You can't tell because this camera angle usually looks pretty fresh, but we got an audio way forward working on in here, some mysterious recording project, some VO. We've got OKKO on the other side of the building this week, which is cool. Gosh, I really like this material. And of course some just NuRen boilerplate stuff. Like, I really am trying to set us up for success when we're firing at all cylinders. So Ravi's doing a recording, Jake is setting up his music station. I'm setting up with you guys. So that's what I do. And also, of course, doing the average thing. Anyway, thinking about optimizations and foolproofing type of stuff, one thing that I could do actually to make this a little bit more interesting is to get the state of that particle. But yeah, this is kind of what I've been looking at. So here's that particle system. You recognize it from in here. Whoa. The reason why it doesn't look like this in the editor is because of the exposure. Basically only stream, so I'm required to get more work done. Yeah. I mean, Slip, that's a good method for streaming, and to some extent, that's kind of the foundation of PowerBlock as a stream, right? I mean, that's what we aim to do, to show the process. Now that I think about it, I wonder if at the beginning of play, not only can I do that, but maybe I can get the state of a particle. Get particle. It's like particle active or something like that. Set actor parameter. Can I get actor parameter? Because they're talking about this reference to this particle system. There's deactivate, there's activate. I mean, one thing that we can do is always activate it at the top of the scene, right? Like, after we enable input, we'll activate it, and then we'll set that to true. it's going to be kind of a problem later on. And I guess one way to mitigate that, just thinking about like logic is I can check the state. Like I can probably make this a public parameter. Probably is actually when I look at it, the blueprint in the scene. So let's see, here's camera sequences, sky and fog. I know that the text is kind of small and hard to read, but we're just gonna roll with it. Thinking about one thing here, triangle toggle. So triangle toggle here in our little inspector thing. I wish I could could probably do this, hold on. There we go. Just wanted a little bit more space for the inspector or the detail panel as it said. So let's see, actor, high level of detail, triangle toggle, self, orb fire. So here are the properties of this guy. But I'm more interested in this guy. And that is this blueprint. Active is not visible in the editor, but I can see it now if I click on this little eye. And I want to be able to say if it's active, right? We're gonna do a compare if, right, branch. And I wanna know if this is the case, right? So if that's active and that's true, doink, then we're going to activate it. And if it's not active, we're going to deactivate it. And that'll kind of, no matter how I set my initial state, allow me to like basically control the toggle property of this particle system from the editor. So let's see. The default is active, inactive. If I turn this off now and hit play, it should deactivate the thing, so we don't see it. Now when I hit one, hey, there it is. Hey, there it goes. So that's kind of like the, you know, that's just like a little detail. These are things that I think about when we're building up tools where it's like, oh, I have a particle toggler. How do I set that thing up? Yeah, I just kind of, I should just have like a MintPotion radio. Like automatic station set up on SoundCloud. Actually, it's not a bad idea. This is what I'm gonna do. What is this? Playlist? No, I don't care about that. How do I do this? Isn't there a button that just like add to Thingu? Next up. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Thought it was playing through here. This guy. Right? More add to playlist. Send me a playlist. Or we're gonna do this. MP radio. Lowercase. MintPotion radio. This is a public playlist. I want to save it to here. And anybody who has a link for just dope tracks from people in the community. I know Atomic has a lot of these, as you've been basal tonicking. Speaking of which, how is that going, by the way? Sophie was talking to me about Sophie was talking to me about an interview that she did recently. I can't remember if it was with you or if it was with James Rogers, but that's a thing. So here we go. Toggle particle animation. I actually like that it doesn't do that in the editor. In order to actually do this, we can make this similar kind of function inside of this guy, the construction script. But I don't care. It's not important. Okay? It's fine. It's fine the way you're beautiful the way you are, Atomic. New episode is coming out today. Which episode is this? I think 5? I see. Yeah, you know, life happens. That's the difficult thing about collaboration, whether you are away from the keyboard or not. Episode 4. Okay. Wow, you have fallen behind. I'm just kidding. All right. So anyway, we've tidied up a bunch of I've tidied up a bunch of blueprints. Like that one, same one with this guy, right? It just triggers. Both of these have the same kind of node, which is just doing a basic enable input. And this one just activates that little blast dude, right? So when I'm rocking it, I can hit 0 and that guy explodes. What? Bagoon. So that was a fun little thing. All of these things are fun. I think this looks great. There are a couple of weird like glitches, but it's kind of something that I like. The way that like that emissive map seems to stretch. I think that might just be like a camera simulation type of thing. Anyway, so this is our little playground, and I'm gonna keep playing in this playground. I was watching a couple of Unreal, where Unreal lacks in documentation, and that may just be a matter of practice, right? You kind of have to learn how to get into somebody else's mindset of describing something, you know? But what they lack in what I think is pretty clear documentation or well organized, or I don't know. Like I said, I'm trained in another couple other languages of documentation. Like Unity's documentation is a lot like Flash's old documentation. And so I fell for it right away. I was like, oh man, this is so great. But what they lack in documentation, if I can finish my thought, they make up for in their videos. Like their online tutorial stuff is really solid. I'm about that. So let's go up a couple levels. We should have default like starter content. I want like a sphere, I think. So there are a couple of spheres. Oh, these are sphere materials. Here's shape sphere. Oh, this is not the arcade sphere. I'm not going to completely rip off that guy's tutorial, but I definitely want to find something that has a reasonable amount of tessellation. Because I got an idea for a material that I want to make. I want to, oh, actually, let's add 2 more scenes to the end of our camera list. So, because there are 2 places that I want to test effects, right? So I was thinking about this earlier, like how are we going to do that? For example, like if I wanted to simulate in like a dark space, right? Look at how much space I have before the skybox kicks in. Like if we were to zoom in, if we were to move our camera out to here, whatever this is, what is this, 100 kilometers? 10 kilometers as each grid space. So this is like what? 150 kilometers out, right? And that's just to provide the illusion for the skybox, right? Because the actual working area that we have is this big, right? Which is cool. Here's our road, dude. I really like how this stuff reacts in this view because it doesn't have such like crazy rendering like issues. But I'm a big fan of this stuff. Big fan. I think this, yeah. I don't know if this responds to scale. I don't think it has to at the moment, but I still think it's wicked cool. I'm just gonna kind of straighten that out. I think there's an option that I might want to enable to make that a closed loop. But you guys know what's up. That's a fun thing to make. And really iterate over. Like we've done a lot of cool stuff with that. So compared to this guy here, which is pretty static, I also have a bunch of other things, but I need more. I think I might make we have like a stage or a level in here that's called like a white stage. And I might make a black stage as well. I'm not quite sure. But I really want to put those things in this test level because first of all, I have a ton of space and I can easily hide a box in this game. So black stage might be pretty easy, right? Or we can test out glowing effects and things of that nature. And then a white stage will also be pretty easy, especially with something like ambient occlusion in the corners of the thing to really give us that look. Alt G, J, Shift J. I'm not going to learn those right now. Cool. So with either of these things, I mean, you could probably just hide them out of view to make the illusion a little more magical. So I'm gonna grab myself some construction junk. I think in the starter content there are like walls and floors and stuff. Let's grab a floor. Let's do it from here. So you can see it, and I can see it too. So here's this floor. A static mesh. I'm just gonna drop you right there, bro. Come with me to the other side. Whoa, there are two of them. That's fine. So let's go over here. I'm really just gonna need to make 2 rooms, but I'm also gonna have to find and delete. This is a cool look. Ooh. I like how we could potentially make use of that, actually. Anyway, here's our original floor piece. I could shoot through that. Why not? But tell me about your weekends. Tell me about your lives. I'm gonna scale this dude up. Maybe like, I don't know, 50 times its size? 25. 1. Oh, why are you locking your... No. 25. Oh, that's plenty big. 2, 25. Just got done with spring break. Didn't really get anything done. I mean, that's what breaks are for. Wonderful. I hope you had an enjoyable time. Sounds like it was pretty good. Let's turn our scale up a bit. Is that fast enough? I could live with it. It's like the paintbrush. You gotta adjust depending on the size of the canvas. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so I need some walls now. I got a floor. How about some walls? Wall. A wall sconce. 400 by 400 wall. I don't want to make a box though. I want to make something that's roomy. So we're gonna drag one of these cats in here. I like how it snaps to the normals. Alright, and I think that using the same scale, we can actually do that. So that on the Y, I don't know, it should be like 2 or whatever. Cool. I love it. I just like how they have these kind of simple primitive sources. And I'm still working at some kind of grid snap, which is useful. It may not look it, because these things are so large, but you can pretty much eyeball it when you are doing this type of thing. You're off by 1 unit. See, still snaps. We're good. Cool. Well, I like Friends. I met up with Friends too. I didn't really do anything for St. Patrick's Day. It's not my thing. I'm not that Irish. As far as I can tell, I'm not Irish at all. I could be wrong. You know, I want other people to have that enjoyment, right? So let's see, let's rotate this and duplicate it like that. And just scooch you on over, my friend. So making a black room is pretty easy. I think that's all I have to do. I kind of wish I could just do that. Let's double check that we're reasonably within the bounds here. Looks good. I'd like to say that looks just fine. Alright, and of course the final thing you need in any room is a ceiling. Unfortunately, we don't have a ceiling mesh prefabricated, but I have it on high authority that we can actually... Oh, we're done. Okay, cool. Corned beef and cabbage. Man, I need to go hang out at Sophie's house for every holiday, because they know how to get down. So I have the white room. Actually, right now it's probably black. Hey, that's pretty black. So light isn't sneaking into here. Seems that way. And all I need to do now is grab myself a camera actor and place this guy in there. So I'm gonna do that right now. Just gonna throw you down. Hey. Wow. Wow. And that is neat, because it has its like eye adjustment going on. There are a couple of things that I'm not 100% sure about. But let's call this camera black, I guess. Camera black. Camera black. And I want this whole group, all of these new things that I just made. So like the camera and this guy and this guy and that guy and this other guy and this other guy and this other guy. I want to make a group. So let's see, how do I do that? This way? Group. Give me a group to selection. I want to make a new folder as well. Maybe for stages? Also, can I duplicate a group? I don't think I can duplicate a group as a group. Let's see, if I select you, do you stay a group? Yes. If I select you, do you stay a group? So there's Cam Black and there's Cam Black 2. I want Cam Black 2 now to be called Cam White. Can I rename you? Might have to do with the grouping, I'm not sure. So let's make a couple of folders. I don't trust you. So, oh, perfect, white room. All right, and then I can take this first group, blam, and I can make a new folder. And it does it with the group, that's amazing. Black room? All right, and I can actually ungroup these guys now because they are pretty well organized. What groups? Oh, here it is. Shift G. Let's try it with the keyboard shortcut. And also maybe like renaming these to something that's alphabetical, or so that they're together. Room white. And then here, same thing. F2, room black. Let's see. I'll be down if we don't have the best chicken and rice in the whole state. It's quite possible. I'll just be, let's see. Or are you? Alright, let's make a new folder with these guys. Called Blueprint Actors. I would call them prefabs, but I'd kind of go against that naming convention. Just keeping things clean. So cam static, but I already have something for that, man. I got cam sequences. Right, we can see that preview of cam static. Hey, man. All right, and we're going to drop into this room. So I'm in room white now. There's cam black 2. Now, cam black 2 is not really a cam black 2. It's going to be cam white. And cam white, this area, needs a light. My dude needs a light. So let's go have a look at the lights that are available to us. I'm thinking really something simple, just like a point light. Just work on this space, right? So I don't want this thing to cast shadows necessarily. I just kind of want to like bring this thing to life. Undo. Let's turn up that intensity, buddy. Oh wow, that is so light. This is the brightest room I've ever seen. It's Actually, a little shameful. Can I get it like insane? It's better. Keep going. I wonder if I'm getting an error. I really need to see like a warning or something like that. It's also highly likely that the lighting needs to be rebuilt. And that attenuation radius is out of control. Okay. Let's make it smaller. Alright, so I can tell that that's affecting that thing. If I had to gauge the progress of NuRen, where would you say it is right now? Good question. I would say... Let's see, I feel like I've answered this recently, but I'm willing to field it again. Goodbye! I would say that you're probably looking at... I would say maybe 20%. Right? What's this? Okay. Well, I definitely want to... well, that's not a big deal. What's this? No importance volume found. The scene... so large and automatically synthesized volume with not real results. Please add a abandoned light mass. Yes, that's a good idea actually. So I need to make a light mass volume, buddy. Light mass, importance volume. I want that in here. I had a feeling that you would throw an error. You light mass importance volume. But yes, that is my guess. Hey, were you the one that asked about people's projects in game dev? Yes, I was. I was in the game dev channel looking for projects to showcase and just like comment on, really. See what people's progress are. I think Slip is working on a game. I know there are others. Actually, I kind of want to duplicate this as well. I'm just gonna do this into here. Ugh, scoot over. Oh, shoot. Looks pretty good. Okay. How does he kind of do it? Gotta have light masses so that the game engine doesn't freak out. And I want to give it boundaries to calculate if the player is in there. You can't just be rendering all the lights all the time. What's going on with this? Oh, I see. This would be a little bit easier to do from an orthographic view, just saying. You'll see what I mean in 2 seconds. See what I mean 2 seconds ago. But yes, I am quite curious. I hear they're game developer folks, and you added me. Okay, gotcha. Yes, I may have even seen it too. I haven't been on Discord for the last few days because I've been cleaning clothes. Like I cannot understate the sheer volume of laundry that I have been responsible for cleaning in this past weekend. You ever like? So here's the thing. I came upon an insane amount of shirts from a friend of mine, which is wonderful. I love shirts. Sure. Let's get you in the white room. All right. Let's get you in the black room, just in case. So now I can focus on assets that are in this area, which is super slick. All right. Now this light, I'm curious about. See this radius? That's like pretty bad. Okay. But yes, I gotta know about these games, you guys. So as I screw with the attenuation radius, the source needs to be a lot larger. That whole source radius to 0 thing ain't working for me. Here's the source. It's like the hot point of our light. So lights have a lot of properties. Source length, what does that do? What? Oh, we can make like a shaped light. Okay. Soft source radius. I don't know when we'll see this. Use temperature. Temperature. Cast shadows. Don't cast shadows. Indirect lighting intensity. You should get a little bit higher. Ugh. Visible light mass. Shadow exponent. Whatever. Max draw. Ooh, a light function. This is actually something I might want to cover today. To do like a disco ball or projector type of effect, that would be pretty sweet. I think IES textures. Yes, it's like a light. It's like image-based lighting effect. Kind of like the beautiful and natural colors that occur from this, like on this kind of shiny black material. It's kind of part a composite from the environment and part a reflection of certain assets in this scene, right? But yeah, I'm just building a playground. I know that you've seen me build a playground for a while, but I don't want to spend too much time on stream like I did last year working down the save our work. Like working down the kind of list of assets. Like I wonder if I actually have them right now. I'll show you what I mean. Because I have a list right now that probably has, I don't know, 80 assets on it. I don't need to see this guy's Dropbox, dog. God, why am I logged in? Hold on a second. How do I do this in a safe way? Ah, YouTube. Why am I by default signed in to this guy? Like, this is not the guy I need to be signed in as. There we go. Now, I think it might be that. Anyway, seriously, dog? Ugh. Anyway, not important. I have an asset list. I need hundreds of 3D models for this project. That's just what's gonna happen. I think we need to rebuild lighting. There are a couple of other things I need to do as well, but as it stands, we'll do that. And I'm thinking on the low end we're gonna have what? That's fine. I shouldn't have that error anymore though. Oh really? Large actor receives pre-shadow will cause extreme performance hit unless cast dynamic shadow is set to false. So this is Greeble Plane 4 or 5. These are all of our blueprint actors, which don't need dynamic shadows anyway because they're not really gonna move unless we have like a centerpiece around the what is this? Oh yeah. Yeah, building a good framework goes a long ways. It's just also sorry, I'm looking for a certain cast or receive shadows. Or is it dynamic shadows? Dynamic let's see the lighting. Actor. Do I have to build again? Or where's my warning panel? No, sorry. Window. Well, yeah, just good stuff to kind of like the spline tools and things of that nature, making a clear path for anybody who wants to design an effect, anybody who wants to lay out a stage, or how we get assets into the game, how we do all of these things. There's so many different processes. Even if the only thing that is left to, what am I looking for? Sorry. Details, viewports, sequence recorder, sequence, layers, levels, details. No, man. No, man. Where's my, where's my window that, whines at me? Map check. Alright. So to select this asset, and it says cast dynamic shadows. So we need to take all of these guys, because each of these assets is generating however many meshes are inside of that thing, it's generating a warning. But yes, putting a framework together, right? You need a level. Let's see if I can just cast B. It should be in a rendering thing. Do I have more options if I only do one? It's a good melody. Not interested. Oh, you know what it is? It's gonna be all of you guys. Or is it just a spline mesh instance? Oh, maybe I have to do that. Oh, that's weird. I have to do that in the blueprint. I haven't thought about that. Let's try it. So here's our super sweet spliner. I wonder if I can dynamic shadows or set render options. Get default screenshot options. No. B cast dynamic shadows. Get dynamic material. Oh, maybe it's a material setting. I don't know. Let's look at that warning editor again. But yeah, framework, tools, level editor type stuff. We need rules. What snaps to where? What does the layout of a level look like? Kind of if you'd seen our stream a month or so ago with just white boxing, you need to be able to build the bridge between that sketch of an idea and what is ultimately the final thing. Because there's definitely still mechanical stuff and sweetening up maybe pre-purchase assets even, and dressing scenes and doing a lot of sweet level design stuff. Really scene design. Ooh, visible, hidden in game. Nope. Sky sphere mesh. What the mesh? I mean, it shouldn't cause much an issue. What I need to know is if this light bake worked. Doesn't look like it, champ. Why are you so dim? Look at what's going on in here. Maybe this is the wrong kind of light. Got spotlights, skylights, a directional light. Oh, I wonder if I could do that. I mean, one thing I could do if I really wanted like a straight white room is use NuRen Materials in here. Is there a way? I know in previous versions of Unreal, now I'm like getting creative, sweet. So in previous versions of Unreal, yeah, let's do flats. And then we'll just have a white box, a white and a black box hiding behind our castle over here, which are visible from Earth, but that's something that we can fix if we really need to. Right now, it's not a big deal. So we have these two mats, and the problem is that they take shadows. I did want to talk about the material editor today, so everything's kind of working out in my favor. But test places, right? I need a test room. I need a test room that looks awfully like this, right? And one that looks less awfully like that. Something that seems just like a void that we can experiment with glowing effectively and, you know, non-glowing particles, non-glowing, well, effects, right? Also, if I want to be teleported to these rooms. But yes, project planning. And, you know, NuRen's a big project. You think about what, like, feature length means. We're talking about 90 minutes, right? That's 90 minutes of music. That's 90 minutes of pure fun. It's 90 minutes. It's no joke. What if I could do this? Actually, instead of that, the W, yes. Just thinking about making these not overlap. Trying to be nice. Anyway, but yeah, exactly. You need organization. It goes a long way. We need a plan. We need stuff ready. Like, what if, you know, what if 20 people started working on this project a month from now, right? Like, that is something that would take a whole lot of stress, kind of like you would say, off of my mind, right? It's a lot of stuff you don't have to think about, a lot of stuff you don't have to worry about. Things are getting fixed. We have a lot more human resources for that type of thing. At some point, that'll be true. However, the immediate problem when you have 20 people join up is like, what are the rules, right? How are we going to do this in a way that, you know, more and more people can collaborate? And so if you yourself experience this, I'm sure, where, you know, you have a handful of people, you know, at least helping you with Basal Tonic, right? Exactly. You need a plan. We need to know, how do we go from a concept art all the way to a completed stage, which was kind of what my original intention was when the stream started. And we're still kind of headed there. As a matter of fact, I think that by the time we are ready to roll into full production, the bells and whistles, the full version of the first stage will be mostly done. But there are a lot of things to work out. There's animation. I mean, less so sound design. We happen to have a really, really strong sound design arm team instead of skills. Is there a gap here? Get all nitpicky, but you know, this is that kind of stream. There we go. Yeah. Alright. If that's true, then this must be true. That's part of the problem with Basal Song's slowdown in the past few weeks. Suffering at allocation. Exactly. I mean, that's a job in and of itself, right? I mean, a producer is somebody who's keeping track of different people's workloads and availability. And, oh yeah, that's much better. What the? Oh, I see. This thing's casting shadows. These things don't need to be casting. I'm just thinking, whatever. Like, why is this? Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, like you were the problem. I look at you and I see a problem. And is it because my meshes are doing that? Actor hidden in game, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for this stupid setting, but I can't remember where it is. It's a boolean, so it means it's one of these checkboxes for cast dynamic shadows. And it's just, really at this point it's a warning. It's not that big a deal. Right. That's the other thing, is how, you know, that's the definition of a job, as I've recently heard. You know, it's different from a career, right? Not that many people have careers. It's an uncommon thing. But like, how, you know, let me get some new materials up. So that's the starter content. I'm gonna go back up to, let's clear this out. My art tools. Let's see, test meshes. I need some test materials. Test materials. And these are actually pretty easy, right? Like, we don't have to do much here. We can make a new material. This is going to be called a flat white. Matte. Flat white. It's just an unshaded thing. I'm going to duplicate this. Come on. I'm faster than you, computer. But yeah, that's the role of a producer, right? Matte, flat back, black. So we don't know anything about these materials, but when we open our material editor, I don't want any of this information. As a matter of fact, the type of material I want is, I can't see. Let's make it harder. All right. So you can see it's like, oh, this is nice, right? So in the regular material properties, the material domain, describe a 3D surface. Blend mode. Okay. Here we go. Shading model. Unlit. Bloop. Flat. Black. Just black. Done. So we're going to apply that. I'm going to save. Base path shader without light map. We don't really need anything. We might be able to get crazy and use like, well, maybe we'll do that today. I don't know. I've been looking at these things lately. Anyway, same thing with the white shader, right? Matte flat black, matte flat white. So material type. Ooh. I wonder. Because that's probably one thing that's a bit wasteful in terms of this thing, is that we don't need a surface in order to do this. What is this? I'm thinking like 29 instructions. Like I've been thinking about this lately based on the material tutorials and stuff that I've been reading and watching. So I'm like, we don't need a light function, but we might be able to get away with a volume. No. Yeah. Also, we kind of need it to be a surface because, what is this? Yeah, that's fine. CU, surface, unlit. But instead of black, maybe I could just make this white. Constant 3 vector. Yay. Matte, flat white. Save it, apply it, do your thing. And so yeah, finding a good producer, right? Like that's a single job. Maybe Sophie can manage it. I'm sure she could. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. But see, 29 instructions. Whatever. So I flat white, flat black, flat white. Which means I can actually select all of the elements in this scene, or in this like room, right? And I can give them a regular material. Multiple values selected. So let's see, this one is the black room. So I go to my content browser and apply. Yeah, work. Use selected asset from, oh, static mesh, sorry. Hide all materials. No, we're just gonna use that. So I have this blackish box. So in this guy, same thing. I have all these parts. Bloop, 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 bloop. And in the materials section, we're gonna do the same thing. Just get flat white. We're in the white room, room white, right, white on. And they don't even have to be this big necessarily. We are just doing this out of the kindness of our hearts. So there's something that you might find interesting. So we have black and that seems black. Now in our shader view, this white one seems white, and that's neat, but wrong. And the reason for this is because of our virtual eye not adjusting. So here our exposure should be automatic. That's closer to white. Like this is effectively white. I can't really tell. I'm also wearing shades. There we go. Shades make a big difference, by the way. It's adjusting my exposure. So I have auto exposure control in here as well. It makes things look cool. All this stuff brightened up quite a bit. And it's for such a thing as, you know, when we're in darkness. And the eyes adjust. Makes everything I did look great. So let's rebuild lighting and save. I don't think there are lights in there anymore, are there? Well, because in this room, it should just be black. You can see the edges here. Those are actually the volumes. But one more thing, I guess, while we're here, is we're gonna add cam white and cam black to our list of cameras. We'll put them at the end, so we can actually cycle right to them. So I'm gonna go into my blueprint editor. Oh yeah, some chill stuff. Who makes this super chill music? I'm into it. It's like, that time I was remembering something. Not to snark too hard on your stuff, dude. But I like it a lot. Look at this huge reflection of the gate in this thing. Like, that is a texture mapping issue. Alright, see this metal? It is not meant to be that big. And so what happens is the environment reflection is, I think these as well. It's just a UV problem. But it's actually a kind of neat effect. We should remember that. Anyway, I'll do the best I can. I don't know why I have to rebuild lighting, but I'm just going to get an error, but let's do it. 0 unbuilt objects. I'm getting an error. Oh, it says 9. Control Shift semicolon. Okay. But yeah, so being the task manager, being on top of people, making sure that the project has what it needs to get done within a reasonable time with appropriate resources so that people aren't stressing out. And furthermore, that the people who are working on these things, and probably most importantly, you know, a good producer is practically invisible. Somebody who's doing the things to ensure that things are getting done, but that they're not obstructed by anything, right? They're not blocked by anybody, that they have the resources that they need, they are comfortable, that they remain productive so that we can all go forth and make really cool stuff at a predictable rate. And when you have a sense of that bandwidth, right, then you can do really serious business development stuff and say, look, I got a team of dudes and they can probably make 6 motion pictures a year, right? Then you can budget your time for that, right? It's gonna cost this much to pay these people to make a movie in 3 months or 2 months. All right. They figure out how many hours they need to work. If you're smart, you'll do it in such a way that makes people want to keep working for you, or with you for that matter. Such is life. I think we're back at the top for some reason. Nope. This is just a re-release. I don't know, man. T-Matt, that's a pretty dry clap, dude. I don't know. Alright, so where was I? Oh, that's right, cameras. So, our level blueprint is going to be the one that has this information. So we're going to open that level blueprint. The level blueprint has this cameras list. There are 4 cameras in this list right now. I need 2 more. 1 for cam white. And 1 for cam white. There it is. Cool. Compile. Nothing really changed. We're good. Let's save this blueprint. We're good. So let's see. What's a good thing to put in the... Well, let's see. If I go to my blueprints folder, I want to put a couple of these triangle toggles in there. Right? What the... What? Oh. What the... Oh, I see. It's scaled all kinds of weird. Word. Not a big deal. Not right now, at least. So you... Let's just go up in the top view. Alright. This room is the black room. Like I said, they don't have to be this large. But I definitely want to, like, get some in here. Remember, they're all blueprints. They're all prefabs if you're a uniteer. And I'm pretty sure if I look at this from the side that they're probably going to be under. Yeah, that's a good guess. So here are my triangle toggles. 2 to 9. I'll just drop them right there in this room. They look like they fit pretty well. Orthographic views, man. What more do you need? You know what I'm saying? Let's get 26. Think, what is that? It's a little too far. Not even that necessary. You can even see their little triangle meshes all bubbling. And there's this beam. That's what's going on. I need to edit this particle system. There's a beam particle that is stretching out that far. It's just gonna do that. Because I think I started working on something that's what you get. Anyway, so 2 through 9, let's put them in this group, right? In this folder. And I guess we'll scale them up while we're here. Oops, not like that. Like, what? There we go. Make them into something special. It's like, hey, Link, you gotta save the Hyrule, my dude. Sweet. But organizing your time, getting good at organizing, you know, it starts with you. If you're organized, if you have a plan, then you can tell other people about your plan, right? People will be like, that person, that guy can plan, all right? Art tools, tests, no. All right, and then glowing cone. Whoa, wrong. This is the material. I don't need that. I need this. This beam emitter, not interesting. Let's delete it. And it's gone. Save. Let's restart all of the level dudes who have that particle. Complexity goes down a little bit. We're still, it's like 568 meshes. It's like a stupid high rate. But each of these guys is actually an instance of our blueprint, which is really sweet. And we'll see how sweet that is right now. Because why not? So we started out here. If I right click, now we're back. We're in the white space. What? Now we're in the black space. Crazy. I think if I hit 1, it activates. Ooh, that particle. I can only see the 1. Is it because it's too far away? I don't know. I think it's F1 to get out of there. No, that's not what I meant. Ooh, unlit. We're switching through rendering modes. Is it Shift F1 to get my mouse control back? I want to see what's going on here. Ah, what? Why is there only the one actor here? Oh, it's there. I don't think it has anything to do with whether I'm facing the thing. Last I checked. Perspective, top. What's going on, guys? Default active should be on, actually. Stop. Alright. Sweet. That could be the issue. Also, we'll separate them in interesting ways. Well, because they're all kind of equidistant to the player, right? There's the camera right there in the middle, sort of, kind of. Let's see, can I do, like, this type of thing? What if... I don't know, let's take, like, every other one. And duplicate it. And rotate that group. Kind of just, like, make a space. Gonna make a field. This song really matches what I want this room to do. I really like how you can undo deselection in most 3D tools I use. The song should be about undoing deselection. Alright. Yes! Ooh, here's an interesting bug. So I wonder why it is that that behavior occurs. I love it. I'm not sure that I love these ball things either. But then again, this is all test stuff. And I think keeping them in there makes them look like test stuff. Here's an interesting little thing though. I wonder how... Like if I were to go look at the first particle, right? This guy? Like, it doesn't respond to that input anymore. It was the last one created, most likely. If I go to triangle 20, alright, so this guy's the guy. Let's shift F1 back up. That's gotta prove this to myself. Triangle 20. It's you. It must be you. Ooh. I got nothing. One. There he is. I mean, I gotta say, in this light, this is a way cooler looking particle effect. Neat. All this craziness going on outside. But this is what my mind looks like. Especially with this tune. Alright, sweet. So, I have a couple of test areas. They have a limited size. But, I mean, I can't really see them from where I'm going. And also, I mean, we can take this entire group of things out. And, ooh, let's make another sequence. But this time, this is gonna be interesting. I think it'll look good though. Alright. Because what I can do is I can make a blueprint of these entire layout. Even do kind of grid align things, you know, it's a light show. It's actually have to do more research on demo scene type effects. But now that I think about it, let's add a new sequence. So I'm gonna go to cinematics. And I need a matinee. I'm gonna add a level sequence. And this is going to be I guess I'll call it the glow cone zone. I'll put it in here. But I have like a area. Glow cone zone. Zoner. And so this sequence doesn't make any sense that it's there, actually. It just kind of gets created at the center of the world, which we're nowhere near. Where we're going, we don't need to be centered. I'm gonna put it over near our camera. It really doesn't matter where the thing is. But with that sequence selected, it'll open this guy up again. Our sequencer. Sequencer. Let's put it next to this guy, though. Let's keep things neat. Or, even better, yeah. Sequencer. So, I need to add tracks to my sequencer. And I have all of these triangle toggles inside of this room. That's convenient. We're going to add references to the selected actors. Bloop. Yay. And it's probably more efficient to do this with blueprints. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee that. Because no, it's more dynamic. But if we want to design a sequence, I don't know. That's fine. For now, it's fine. It doesn't have to be a long sequence. So let's add a track. Orb fire. I don't think that'll do that for everyone. But let's just operate on that notion. A track for this guy. Okay, let's just make it a little, whoa! A little larger. Give me... I like the sequence editor a little bit more than Matinee so far. Not 100% sure what the major differences are. But this is the new Matinee for for our intents and all intents. Which is it? I need more music. You're power blocking with me this afternoon. The time is 4:17. I would say nice. One way to really optimize that, you could also disable the sequence by default. We're just making it pretty. Instead of just animating the position of a camera over time, why don't you? So what is this? 150 frames, 30 frames a second. Let's turn this up, dog. Let's look at this in terms of 60 frames per second. And now I can see how long this sequence actually is. So, what are we talking about? 330 to 330. It should be the working range start and end. What? Oh, view range start, I see. Let's just make this 120 frames. Yeah. And, I just really want to disable the downtime. Properties. Particle toggle track. Wish I could do this kind of to all of these things, right? That would be nice. I might be able to, well, let's see if that's true. Controlling the emitter state. Activate. And then you need a key. But, you know, only a few frames in, maybe deactivate. Maybe a few frames later, activate. Maybe a few frames later, deactivate. And then you're gonna do this. And we're gonna do that. That's just because of the type of particle system we're dealing with. Can I copy and paste that information here? Yes, I can. Interesting. Well, let's do that. Dude. I only have 20 of these things in here. It's fine. Is this early T-Map music? This might be somebody else. You ever think about that? You ever think about that? Sometimes I think about that. It's like not very frequently. Every once in a while I have a thought. And that thought is to make beautiful triangle things. I guess another thing we can do is maybe like move them or whatever, but it's not exciting. We'll be doing plenty of that. I will say, I've done this in Matinee quite a few times. And this is pretty pleasant. Ooh, I can copy frames. Nice. Wow. You've made yourself a fan. Look at that. We're just going to copy that off point. Hey, we're going to copy that on point. Hey, man, we're just going to copy that off point. Hey, but really we should copy that on point. Like, that's pretty sweet, actually. As a career machinimator, impressed. I'm impressed. I think I know a thing or two about guns and bullets. Like, we don't even need to be from the same time. Like, I mean, sort of. That's exciting. Kind of randomizing. Hey Paradoxygen, how you doing? I'm messing around with timelines. You can kind of hear my voice. I'm sure you can hear it a lot better than I. That's alright. Ever feel like you're inside an anime? And also, can I scale all of these, for example? Like, what if I did this? We're also not designing anything in particular. It's kind of making variations. I shouldn't spend so much time on any one, but I'm actually having fun with this editor. It tells me whether or not there's like a on point that doesn't have like a partner. Right? You can see which points are wasteful. I want to be able to scale this animation actually, but we'll see. Because if I select all of these things, right, can I like do that? Like, how does that work? I was thinking like maybe I can hit R, but what happens is it's selecting them inside of the editor. That's like not a good look. So, what is this? Allow any edits to occur. Okay, that's fine. Go into a perspective view and kind of scoot over into our literal black box. I hit play, we can see kind of what's happening here. So one thing about this sequence, inside of, I guess it's like I have a thing about sequences. This isn't a camera sequence though. This is the black room sequence. So we could just put it in there. And glow cone zone. This sequence should be looping. Loop indefinitely. And we can set a start time for it. We can change the speed of the animation, which is kind of neat. I don't know if that'll apply to the actors in this scene. Receive inputs. That's cool. Not particularly necessary for this guy. Then it opens up this guy. I was just thinking about this, like, there isn't really any time to see this stuff. Can I view this as a curve editor? Yes, I can. So I should be able to frame these, yeah? Alright, now, well, should still be able to see these keys, right? Oh, maybe it's the view that I'm looking at. Let's stretch this out a bit. Well, this is 0.25. Then this track is probably going to be at 0, 0. But I can't scroll down. Oh, there it is. See it animate. I mean, this isn't interpolated. These are just events. It's not the same thing. Yeah, I guess it's okay. High point still stands. Why isn't that playing? That's what I want to know. It plays once. Like, seriously? Yeah, there we go. It takes too long for them to be deactivated. I should have thought about this. Anyway. You can see them jittering in such a way. I wonder if I can replace all of these references. I'd have to replace all these actors. That's not a bad idea. Sorry for thinking out loud. I'm just trying to think. Timelines are fun to mess around with, for sure. I'm also used to using timelines in a whole bunch of different tools. And there are certain features that I really like in some that not all timelines have. Like in Ableton, being able to collapse all of these things, or scale MIDI. Not to mention, I mean, some of these things are kind of irrelevant because the system that we're using kind of has MIDI events from, that's basically the timeline. It is MIDI that we're playing alongside the audio file. But as some kind of weird torch room, as some torture chamber, as we call it. Can I replace these? Yo. Say what? No thank you. Well, good. But yes, so we've got our rooms. I don't really have a good system for this other space, but I have, this is fun. That's fine. Yay! Oh, it looks like it kind of deactivates. Might just be the nature of the particle system. Let's go into like a play and oh, that's cool. Play in another context. This is very confusing spaces. And those, of course, like I said, don't have to be that large, and you can't really see. I'm thinking about something else. We didn't really do anything with material animation stuff. Like, I want to try making this material. I don't know how much time I have. 30-ish minutes. Content particles. I'll start messing with shader type stuff. Shader stuff. Not particularly. I mean, this would probably be in just generic. Let's just do that. It is an experiment. This folder just sucks. But I want a material in here. And I'm trying to make a wiggly thing. You can also probably make this into a material function. Wow, this track is a lot louder than your previous stuff. The original mix. It's interesting. Wiggle doesn't have any information. Wiggle doesn't care about you or your family. So, think about Wiggle. Let's see if I can get. Do they have like a gradient? Ooh. Can I preview this? So this node looks like this. It's neat. Scalars. Enter gradient. Sure. What do you got? Gradient map, multi. Oh, nice. Then we need to number before what. I should be able to just plug these things in, but whatever. I want a scalar parameter. Same thing with here. I don't know, 1. Oh, it's not priority. That's the value that I want. Whoa. What is this? Oh, neat. Music is hyping me up. I can also feel my coffee kind of wearing. Let's see. I see the color. Maybe make a NuRen kind of sound. Why is it so? Oh, that's weird. I was expecting that to be like a specular color thing. Can I break this? I'm also curious about like world UVs and things like that. Ooh. Let's go deeper. Token 3, huh? Only have to hold out for 6 days. What is the what kind of strange challenge have you managed yourself into? Is there like a sign function by chance? Yeah, there is. So now I can see what the heck that noise is doing. Jeez. Oh, the cheer ranking thing. Ah. I see. Somebody's beating up the stream boss, though. I wonder who's going to take that person down. Who will defeat this man? Alright, so that seems to be working pretty well. So now it's the scale of this noise that's driving me nuts. It should be much smaller. And then you need to be a scalar. That is something like... I don't know, whatever. Full speed. But your first value... Like, this is getting neat. Let's see. Just like... I mean, we can also... this is actually pretty cool. I'm actually pretty impressed. Constant... filter width. I think I'm just like kind of going through the motions and copying what I saw earlier today. Nobody better take my spot unless they want to mess with the mod. Nobody better take your spot. I like this color pattern. I think it should be a little bit more dramatic. It's like electric, you know what I mean? Also, where's my missive coming from? Oh, I see. It's alright. Can I get... Ooh, I know. Lerp alpha, 2 values based off of a height map. We don't have a height map, so we're not going to output that. Value used in lerp function. What does that come out to be? Will I get real, like, displacement? Oh, and this also, in order for that to work, I need to do... What? Two-sided, material attributes, self-shadowing. What am I looking for? What was the tessellation thing? No tessellation. See that. But this also, can I preview this? Start previewing. What are we actually looking at? I don't know. There's also like some other information. It's not working. How many? 200 instructions? Yeah, no. I mean, it is pretty nasty. $86? I'm not even sure what that does. I just want to plug stuff in. wonder if there's a way. It's not working at all. Also multiplying by 0. Just want something slow. That looks kind of neat. What does this look like? It's not as cool. Doug and my Doug. I also want to move the UVs. Let's see. Does that mean that I have to turn this into like some kind of a map? Oh, here's that thing. What is this? I'm also not sure what these values are. It's like 0 to 1 or something. And there also isn't really any wireframe like material. This isn't particularly crazy. Oh, that's also variable. Let's just make that constant. And we'll multiply whatever this material is by like, I don't know, 4 is pretty safe, right? Probably. Show me this in this form. So will I be able to see what the GPU is doing? Oh, maybe. Looks like it. I can't really make it smaller. That's probably dangerous. Let's make this reasonable. Also, that probably won't activate unless I have a map for it to work with. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about all these things. It's just stuff that I saw on the internet that I definitely want to understand. Do not use it with other things. Planar reflections. Nice. Alright. One thing that I want to see on this kind of top view, and I wonder a lot of things. I wonder so many things. Whoa, seizure inducing. Well, my ears. This is the same guy. It totally is. Have we made it to the bottom? Guitar idea. I have a sinking suspicion that it's not a real guitar. Sounds good though. I just want to see. Oh, a texture coordinate. That's cool. Cannot convert it to a float 3. So I have to make a float 3. And the texture coordinate. And break this apart. break out float 2 components. And then, I don't know, fucking this guy. I preview this node. Okay. Can I multiply this by that? Yo, burrito. I was making some neat material. I could plug that into maybe spec would look good. Trying to stop previewing. How do I do that? Stop previewing. How do I get out of this? Multiply. Oh, here it is. Stop previewing node. Good. Now show me what the real deal is like. There we go. Oh, yeah. I like it. That is looking much better. Cool. It is a way expensive shader. I'm thinking about a bunch of stuff right now. Just what is this? 2 to 3 dimensional vector. Oh, interesting. I don't know, just put it in there. See what happens. Oh, this is like that problem that I had before. That's fine. It's actually the whole reason why I made this stupid chain. I shouldn't have an issue right now. Oh, I see. That's a neat look. It's not what I want, but it's a neat look. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, why even use noise, really? Let's try that out. Compile. Yeah. It's the only thing that I really want after this is just like this mask. Right? Contrast. Can I edit that here though? That's annoying, right? Also, I would love to see what the results. That's the results going into emissive color, and we're switching between these 2 colors, which is sweet. I'm thinking about like what this ridiculously expensive shader looks like. Ooh, that's cool. Look what it's doing to the border. Kind of reminds me of like a weird... Alright, well, that's fine. I'll save it. It doesn't quite wiggle. Dogan, you've got the medal. You've got the Dogan Awards. Persona 4. Let's try this one out for size. It's totally like the wrong material. It's gonna take 1,000 years for this thing to compile. But, ooh. No. Anyway. It's kept some of the properties we like. Specifically like this weird... I like the reflection, right? That's still the same quality. Ooh. It's not as glowy as I'd like, but you know, that's the thing. Also, I think because we're using world position, that noise is going to stay in that place, which is one effect, but I don't know if it's the effect. I saw in this video today how this guy did that. So wherever we're using that position, which, where is it? Full speed, noise. I think I could just get actor position. That'll at least, I think, make it static, I want to say. Or, no, I'm not sure. Because it's just kind of applying that to anything. Ooh, that's not going to work, actually, now that I think about it. Now that I look at it. The stream should come with a disclaimer. That looks really good. Yeah. I do like that. Anyway. You know what they say, small victories. So save, close, get way ahead of our guy here. That'll apply here. I want to go to maybe the floor in here, something that's distracting. Let's pick the top block. I'll just apply that material here as well, because why not? Actually, in that I think we'll have a cool effect. So thanks for building a couple of rooms with me, you guys. I feel like we've done some good stuff. Glad that I got a head start with our cycling operation. You can see our dudes going about their business. I'm trying to be curves. Here's our black space. And above it is this crazy thing. Which actually is pretty satisfying. We could probably like apply some kind of gradient to make it expand outward. Oh, look at that effect. This is a DirectX glitch, but it looks great. Like if the floor here was reflective, we'd be doing some cool shit. I'm into that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I guess I should arm my neutrinos. Or maybe just like exit all boss like, you know what? That was Power Block. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun making these cool colors and shapes. I actually did. Believe it. At any rate, I hope your day goes well, and I'll see you tomorrow for more.